How to use three-way calls in edification. Maybe I should call it how to use edification for three-way calls. Here are the two main things to remember, y'all. One, people love a stranger. It's the weirdest thing. I can't even really explain it. It's this expert from afar theory that I've heard put out there by many of my mentors from afar. It is really interesting. People love a stranger. It's not even that this other person is better than you. It's just that they're different from you. So get that in your mind. It's not a shot at your ego. It's not a shot at your self-image or your self-respect or your self-esteem. They just like strangers. It's like that the world over. Here's the second point. Even if they hate the stranger, this expert you're putting them on the phone with, at least you're still in control. Now when you say, wasn't that great? And always say, wasn't that great? We call that post-edification, right? When you say, wasn't that great? And they say, well, he talked too fast. And then you get to put them on the phone with what? A different expert, because you're in control. I hope that makes sense to somebody out there. You are in control as long as you do a three-way. But guess what happens if you start talking to them about the business and you talk too fast? Or you start talking about the business and you sound like ignorance on fire and they don't even understand what that last three sentences was. You get me? You've lost it forever because you aren't in control anymore. They see your cards. You're showing everything you got, baby. That's not going to work. Always use a three-way for those two reasons. Remember how I told you in one of those last videos that your friend zone is sort of like your place of power? Well, three-way calls are what put the power in motion for you. As for edification during a three-way, there are two types. One, before the expert arrives, right? And they did this, it's so interesting. They did this study out at MIT, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, right? And they had this guest professor come in the room. And what they did with the guest professor was they gave out a bio that everybody in the classroom had to read before the professor began. Same exact bio, except one sentence. In one bio, it said he's cold. In another bio, it said he's warm. Everybody that got the warm bio loved him. Everybody got the cold bio could not stand the professor. What does that teach us? That teaches us that pre-framing, or the way you are introduced, or the way someone is introduced to you, has a lot more than we ever would have imagined to do with how you receive them or how they are received by your prospect. Am I making sense to you? Edification is one of the most powerful things you can do to increase your bank account. And I couldn't believe it. It's a closed loop. You edify me and then I edify you. They're like, man, I didn't even know all these wonderful things about this guy. I've known him since high school. But he just now said, this guy is wonderful. And now he's telling me all these wonderful things about him. Wow, everybody's just wonderful. I want to join. And it works almost just that simple. So with that said, then, what you do is you kind of tell them like it's your little secret. Hey, you say sentences like this. This is how you edify. You say stuff like, make a good impression on her because she could change your life. Listen, grab a pen and a pad. There's no telling what this guy is going to say. But you really need this. I'm telling you, I was just where you were. He specializes in helping people like you with problems like that. Remember we got the two what's in the wind, what they do for a living? That's people like you. What they need the money or the credit score for, that's the problem. And then the other part of the problem is when they need it by. So we're able to say that. He specializes in helping people like you with problems like that. And then here's the second kind of edification. After the expert arrives, you explain the prospect's problem, those two what's in the wind. Always use Mr. and Miss for the expert and other leaders in the company, but first names for the prospects. You're doing this for you. I'm telling you, you're doing this for you. And here's the whole vibe. This is how you edify. You pump them up and then you bring them down to earth. You pump them up and then you bring them down. It's important you edify bigly because if you gas them up and brag on them so much they head too big to fit in the door, it won't hurt as bad when you must regrettably throw them under the bus. And you got to throw them under the bus because it shows, one, you trust this expert to diagnose and prescribe. And two, you consider them an expert, not a peer. When you are really transparent with somebody else, it goes to show your friend that you must really be trying to look out for them because you're really being honest with this person. Can a doctor help you if they don't even know the problem? Well, of course not. Of course the doctor can't help you if they don't even know what's wrong. So your transparency really helps your prospect to see you must really respect this expert. You must really feel as though this expert can make a change in their life. And then here's the third reason. This proves you care slightly more, and this gives off the impression that you care slightly more about your relationship with the expert than you do your relationship with the prospect. One is an expert and one is someone who needs an expert, right? And this is the whole thing. So you say things to them like, because they're not a bum, and if they're a bum, then I was a bum. And most of us got started here because we were bums at the time, right? So I just want to throw that out there. That's what Mr. McDaniel calls a disclaimer. All right. Now, where was I? So number 3, you're making it clear you care slightly more about your relationship with the expert than you do with your friend. So you say things like this. Listen, don't make me look crazy. This could change stuff for you. Tuck your shirt in, man. Like sit up. Like why you sound asleep, bro? I'm introducing you to somebody who's very important in my life. They have changed things for me. So really quickly, here's how you pump them up and then bring them down to earth. You would say something like this. Hey, Mr. McDaniel, this is my friend Hazik. He works really hard. Mr. McDaniel, this guy is just amazing. I mean, salt of the earth. 3 jobs. He has about 13, 14 kids. He says he forgets sometimes. But he's always working, Mr. McDaniel. And here's the thing. He's broke as hell, Mr. McDaniel. Really good guy, but he's broke. Please help him the way you've been helping us. He could really use it, and he's too humble to say it, but he could really use it right now. So please help him the way you've been helping us. Y'all see what I did there? So now can he get on the phone with the expert? Like, yeah, I check out this a little, looking at your expert like the expert's short. Some of y'all put us on the line and you done made us feel like we just your little buddy. Why would they listen to us? You know what I mean? And I don't care if they're older, younger, you've got to edify because all of the power is in your edification, not in your expert. Hope that helps you. Rewind this video as many times as you need until you get the concept. And then, hit me or any of the other leadership council and we will help you out. Remember, either your mind has to expand to match your goals or your goals will just start to shrink to match your mind. Let's grow.